Cell phone tower?
Oh, it's like a meadow way over there. See where the tree line is? It looks like it's green grass or something all the way up to the top. Like a meadow. It's a shoelace. The red building tops down there is McGuire's place.
Okay.
That's Ruby Creek Road. Right there, and where it forks off and runs through under the power line is where Corton had the big rock thrown at him.
Right down there. And of
We
course,
showed pictures of it.
right up there in that peninsula, as it sticks back out, that's where the old Chapman farmstead is.
Right.
Garnet Creek Road runs along the hillside of, right along the bottom of that hill over there and in behind McGuire's.
Yeah, I've walked that many a time.
That's
Now,
where
John,
old
when you
buildings
came out in '55 to visit the Chapman site, Highway 7 didn't go beyond Ruby Creek Bridge then, right?
Wasn't 57. Wasn't 50.
It was 55 you took that picture, wasn't it?
58. I thought you told me once.
No, I don't suppose it did.
Because you had to walk through the reserve to get to it.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
Well, you walked the rail line.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to
Well, there
come.
was not quite that far, but up to Ruby Creek there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a road right away you could drive.
Right.
It wasn't a finished road.
Do you know when Highway 7 was finished? I haven't been able to confirm that.
Well,
Yeah.
you can find out easy enough from the
Yeah.
files, newspaper files that the
Mm-hmm.
Historical Society has.
Yeah, that Bill guy, Snyder, I think he's the one that was telling us that the highway didn't even get put in until like the 60s, early 60s.
The base for a highway was there at least all the way across Seabird Island.
Yeah, it went all the way to Ruby, well, the gravel road went all the way to Ruby Creek and then it stopped.
Yeah, right.
There was no road the rest of the way.
But imagine
Much of a
there were
walk.
some snaky roads probably through then that time, because
He said
No,
the
there
kids
wouldn't
had to
have.
walk through the bush to get to the
yeah,
bus at the end of the
you had that snaky road going through the reserve area by the cemetery.
I wonder how they crossed Ruby Creek. If the road stopped at Ruby Creek, I wonder if they had a bridge in at that time.
Well, they wouldn't have had any vehicles in there.
No, not many,
None at all.
any at all.
That was the only thing that came to the end there to pick up the kids.
But there was always the rail line. Not too long before I came here, the doctor had to go to Harrison Mills on the speeder.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any road over the mountain at Agassiz.
You guys never figured out which way the sighting occurred for Jeannie Chapman, huh?
Pardon?
Which way the Sasquatch came when it came onto Jeannie's property?
Came across the open field towards the camp, where the Schneiders have their house now.
Yeah, we knew at the time exactly where it came because it took us to where it crossed the railroad.
Mm-hmm.
How far from the drive was it where it crossed the railroad track? Was it closer down here or further down where
Well,
the
there
house?
were no driveways.
Yeah, but I mean using their drive now as a landmark.
Well, it came pretty straight towards the river. It came down off the hill at right angle to the river.
So it must have come down the other side of this mountain here, just around the corner where their farm is, across the road there.
Yeah, you got Garnet Creek there on that side, Ruby Creek on this side, which goes down that way. You got that wraparound that comes back to that abandoned farm. By the way, I don't know if you heard, they found a body there earlier this year.
Where?
In that abandoned farm at the bottom. The one we go through sometime. That little shad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, someone dumped somebody.
This year, because there was one found there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Apparently this year again too.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Olson dumped a bunch of bodies around here.
Yeah.
Olson,
Clifford Olson.
I don't think I heard about his case.
No, he's still living off us taxpayers in jail, crying for his rights all the time. Should have hanged him.
Right over the hill there and to the right around the side of that hill coming down is where Ralph Bob had his sighting coming home from the drive-in.
Yeah.
And right around that hill down there where the Ruby Creek Road was, if you look past that hill back into that valley, you can see Deer Lake. Hicks Lake is hidden by the hill.
No, that way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Right through
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Where that tower is down there where the fork in the road is, if you look to the left of it, that's where you see Deer Lake.
The underbrush is so high it's hard to see down into the valley.
That's where I think it is.
Hmm?
Wherever that fork is down there where the hunter entered at,
It's right down there.
that tower you see, if you just head up towards the tower and look off to your right, which is in that valley over there, that's where you see Deer Lake.
Negative. This way. The swamp area where the hunter has encounters right below that cut, that clear cut right there that went in last summer. That's part of that old swamp area right there. The road that goes to that secondary road that goes back towards the farm is right there. And that's that new one I took you down a little while ago that I said they just built last year. Right where you see that fork right there. That's the one going to the right's the new one.
Well, Deer
Yeah.
Lake ought to be over there.
Deer is that way.
Yeah.
I think the cut line we're on, when we're looking at them, it's kind of a touch of this one at the bottom down there, just over.
A few years back, John, you could look and there was no cutouts on the side of the mountain. It was
Yeah.
all green.
All these clear cuts you see within the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was all green. It was beautiful.
It's all little patches of second growth been logged.
Yeah. Beyond this, you could still go, but if we would have drove down there, we'd get to the bottom very quick. Because it's on an angle like that.
You can't see Deer Lake from here.
No, not with those trees in the way.
That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Mhm.
it's certainly
But it
terrific
is a,
view.
yeah, it is, isn't it? And for a Sasquatch tour, Chapman, Ralph Bob, Quarton, sightings right there.
Yeah.
Gale, straight ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silver Skagit Road.
Silver Skagit Road, hell no.
No, way up beyond there, beyond Hope, yeah.
That's where the girl last year we went and investigated and found tracks.
Yeah, Lisette, can't remember her last name just offhand.
Silver Skagit Road is beyond the airport, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't hold just when you're leaving home.
Mhm.
If that's an airport, maybe it's a plane.
I think it sort of goes right around the corner way up there.
Yeah.
Because these houses you see in the distance, that's just the beginning of the outskirts of
Silver
Hope.
Skagit comes out at Silver Creek, which is practically part of Hope.
Yeah.
Mount Archibald would be back this way over the other side of this mountain. Asian lady there in Agassiz was my doctor, and I couldn't understand her for shit about every other word. And then I had a hell of a time trying. He's talking about my breathing, my lungs. I'm trying to tell her I've had cancer and I've had scar tissue around my lungs. She was talking about me needing a whole bunch of tests. Consider getting a whole bunch of tests done. She don't know my history. You can see a bunch of shotgun shells. Of course, they shoot off fireworks. Maybe they shoot off shotguns too. That usually draws the Sasquatch in. Probably.
On the way back, are we going back down that trail? Or do you want to try the log ditch?
The log ditch.
The log ditch.
I was thinking, well, we can. I was thinking about going down to where we came up the second road, and then go up the other one that takes you to the beaver pond. See if they fixed it.
Well, you could try. It was really bad. Yeah.
If they're going up in there, though, they may have fixed it.
They might have.
It's really a nice, beautiful place to go. Especially, it's the best place for tracks.
Slurpee cup.
Yeah, no.
In my
No holders in
six-wheeler,
the
Homer
back.
Simpson would not approve.
I can't remember, but in my six-wheeler, I might have come up that hill once.
No.
It's been a long time.
Here we are, sneaking up.
Can't remember when it was pretty much all smooth.
And we almost used to go all the way to the bottom.
None of these rocks were up like this.
You're approaching the bad area once you pass that little washout ditch that's been filled in.
You could take people to where Bob Tipton's ashes were scattered. That's a hell of a view from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know the exact spot.
I'm not quite sure you know.
We'll put that on the agenda.
On the nickel tour.
I can show you where Renee wanted his spread out. Had Eric cared enough to fulfill his father's wishes.
Where was that?
Up the East Logging Road,
That was a beautiful spot we were there yesterday.
Which logging road?
the east side, towards Silver River.
Well, it's beyond the Silver River.
Oh, you offered to do it for me.
Well, I did.
We both did.
Say you're going to bring it down one day, and that was like years ago.
Well, you will notice that Eric is basically just as bombastic as his father was half the time.
Yeah, it might even be worse. His father at least had done something. But this road I keep talking to you about that used to be the main road is essential to all of this stuff. That's where the road, partway down that road,
Might want to stop coasting, though.
the road to Swalacom took off. Whether it's still possible to go there, I don't know. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot. That's where you took the movie, I guess.
Yeah. Somewhere right here.
Sometimes you get stuck going down, not going up.
Not me. People come from miles around just hear me talk about driving down this road. I had 4 or 5 of them this morning outside, sitting on my doorstep to wait for me to come out and give a talk.
Then later at their inquiry, they hear what really happened.
Well, coming down from Swalacom the last time I did it, took the exhaust pipes right out of the Volkswagen.
This is awesome. It's quiet. It's beautiful.
Had to push them back into the cylinders and wires in there. That would be a long time ago because it would be before I had the national.
Did you work in forestry, John,
Not
or?
very much you can get up there.
newspaper man.
Yeah, I know, but he seems pretty handy mechanically for a newspaper man.
That's because he's in the Royal Canadian Navy.
There you go. There's got to be some reason for it.
My naval career was spent on a lot of land with a place to have it. They call it a ship, but it had a bowling alley and a swimming pool.
Oh, yeah. Chippewa?
It used to be the Winnipeg Winter Club.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Winnipeg. I was a cadet, a sea cadet at the Chippewa downtown.
It was HMC as Chippewa.
Yeah. And my nephew right now is on the Algonquin.
That's a drop class destroyer.
Have a long history of Winnipeg in the Navy.
Yeah, right in the middle of the continent.
There's a plaque to my uncle Eric Harmon at the Chippewa in Winnipeg. He was a boilerman and saved a bunch of men in the explosion when a ship sank in the harbor.
You happen to know whether that Winter Club ever started up again? I'm sure the Navy didn't keep it.
The Winter Club started up again. Did you know, Denise?
No, I don't. I haven't been back to Winnipeg for a while, long while. Chippewa was a wonderful building. We used to rappel up and down the sides of it for practice. Had a big round roof. I played glockenspiel in the band.
Could be history in the making, Tom.
Yeah. I'll play it in the documentary. When the Saints.
One instrument I absolutely detested. It was the glockenspiel.
Really? I loved it. So sparkly.
So inappropriate for an army band. It sounds like the Girl Guides coming out. Oh, here come the brown.
I'm a girl.
You know, I meant for ours. Yeah. That's what we everyone said. Get rid of the glockenspiel. Mixed with a couple more drums.
I played snare too.
You guys will be able to say you rode with the immortal Bill Miller the day he was able to come down this hill, even when the heavy rock debris field.
That's right.
Without starting the engine.
You can still go up there to find it crankcase.
I had nothing but faith that we wouldn't roll over, though we were at a 45-degree angle.
This is how Tom and I used to divide the gas. I would pay for the gas going uphill on level ground. He paid for the gas as we went downhill at the end of the
Yeah. Good deal. They got that on paper.
Tell you the truth, I'm a little surprised we can coast this good because this thing has power steering. Usually power steering buggers up unless the engine's running.
Sounds good. Doesn't sound like a clubhouse. See, good ways down to the streets.
Well, we're past the bad spot. We can coast all the way to the car.
Yeah, I got through the bad stuff. I think they've worked on it a little bit. I don't think we did quite so well.
It doesn't seem as bad, does it? Oh, yeah. Well, we haven't been really doing a regular tour of this yet.
Stopping and
Special
talking.
VIP tour.
Yeah. They've gone off the beaten path a little bit.
it was after 1:30 when you came to the campground.
To be honest with you, we barely made it in 2 hours. So they're usually 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I think 1:35. I said, let's go up there and wait for John at the front. Then we went and got water, filling up the thing with gas.
Whole way. There's a guy with commitment. That's closed.
Definitely locked. Definitely closed. Of course, it's a private company that runs the park now.
I could probably drive around it. One minute, bad enough. But it'd keep any vehicles from going through normal ones. September, October.
So what do you think of the machine, John?
September. It's not even September 15th. I'm surprised it is.
Yeah,
closed.
I don't know. It's crazy.
They probably don't have enough to where they've blocked this off and they're using Deer Lake and Hicks Lake still.
It may have been reserved for a big get-together company thing or something. You never know.
Yeah.
They've done that before.
Somebody could have trashed it out too. You gotta fix it. I don't know. What'd you think of this machine, John?
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah, you can get this out of your way as well.
It's all right.
You good?
I get stiff when I've been sitting.
Yeah, I do too.
How's your back from before we started? How was your back before we started? Your back was bothering you a little bit after your camping trip. How's it feeling
that
now?
was only for a couple of days.
That's good, so you were just in normal form on the way out.
That's quite a long time ago now.
Well, we'll give you the final word, John, before I close this off. How'd you like the machine?
Fine.
How'd you like the tour?
Well, it's not the same for me as it is for the people that
Oh, of course.
haven't done anything like that before.
Enjoy the view from the top? That's the best part.
I spent about 40 years doing that kind of driving.
Mm-hmm. Can't figure out why this campground's closed. It's only September the 6th.
Yeah, it's
Very strange.
well, it may be that they're just directing people to other campsites.
Could be.